What's up, everybody? Alan from Dice Wrench. Welcome back. It's very late. I didn't mean to stay up this late, but Material Manager needed us. You, my people, needed me. Okay. Okay. Material Manager. It's free. It's full of handy things. Texture Packer's cool. In a world of FRDS where you maybe want to pack your... that's Foliage Renderer Deluxe Shader. Sorry. Maybe you want to pack textures from your assets into an optimized format for use in a cooler, more efficient shader, like Foliage Renderer Deluxe Shader. That can be kind of a chore. And Texture Packer does a good job of giving you the ability to non-destructively do that over and over with kind of the mindset of, hey, maybe developer whatever is going to update their asset package. It happens a little bit, not a ton. You know, and stuff that's in like standard format, that's not going away, right? And if you have a lot of assets, yes, you can make a texture packer, right? And then you could save the config as a preset, or you could just duplicate it and then change all your assignments. But it's a lot. I'm working on a project now where I want to convert like whole things, right? 300 trees and shrubs and everything else, right? Over to an FRDS format because I am a paranoid maniac about performance, as I am on the record, having said to you at least twice. Okay, so how are we going to solve this? Well, now we have a new thing. This is called the material converter. And what the material converter does is it lets you map properties from one shader to another shader. So in this case, we're going to go from converter test A to converter test B. And these are very stupid, simple little shaders that just have one texture, one float, one int, one vector, and one color, so we can confirm that everything works. Okay. So real quick, just as a sanity check, let's make a new material. We'll call it test A. And we'll make another one, and we'll call this one test B. Okay, and if we go in test A, we'll go to DWD. We'll go to testing, because this is a test. And we'll go to converter test A. All right, and you can see in here the shader has some default properties, right? Our float's a 3. Our int's a 1. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4 in our vector, and we got a red color. Cool. We don't have a texture. We're going to assign our little palette icon that we use on some of our doodads to be our thing. This is the guy we're going to convert, okay? So we're going to go over here to test B. We'll go to DWD. We'll go to testing. This is still a test. And we'll go to converter test B. Now you'll notice converter test B. Some things are subtly different here. Look. Ooh, the numbers are different, but check it. The names are different. Right? Because this is the real problem. This is the real problem of converting to a new shader. Things are named different. It's not all just main text and smoothness. Some of us do weird stuff and put roughness in instead of smoothness, and it's backwards and whatever. I'm not helping you with the backwards part. Not yet. Dang it. Maybe another day. Oh, that'd be pretty handy, wouldn't it? Oh, okay. I'll think about that. I'll think about that some more. There's maybe a better version of this I should have made. Oh well, this is fine. Okay. The roughness people are wrong. Let's do that. Let's get on this campaign. You know what? It's not that the tool could be way more complicated and modular. It's that the roughness people are wrong, right? Roughness people are like flat earthers. I don't quote me on that. Okay. And the other thing you'll notice here, back on track, all of these are zeros, right? Okay. So now we have a good test where we can say, hey, we're going to convert all of these source shaders that are test A shaders into test B shaders. So we will know this changes over, float B is a 3, int B should be a 1, vector B should be a 1, 2, 3, 4, color should be our, right, color B should be red, right? Because these all have different names, right? And this isn't just display. If we look at the shaders again, we'll look at the shaders, right? Look, texture A, float A, int A, vector A, color A, right? They are very, very simple. Very simple. I didn't get cute with naming anything. It's a test. Okay. All right. Now, simply copying this texture into FRDS, right? Like, remember, that's our goal. We're going to have some standard shader monstrosity shader graph garbage from some asset pack. And we're going to convert that into the sleek, high performance machine that is FRDS. Okay? Garbage, FRDS. All these properties are going to be named different, right? They're going to be completely different properties. If we're packing into like ultralight, right, we have a problem. We need to pack that texture. We can't just assign all the things. We got to do a pack step in the middle. And the texture packer, make a texture packer here to refresh all of our memory. Texture packer takes an input texture or a series of input textures, right? If you haven't watched this video, go back and watch this video. And then you give it out an output. And you say, hey, I want to use texture 1's green channel in here, and that, yeah, bake that one, right? And you set all these up so you can swizzle from however many textures, whatever channels into whatever channels. Cool, right? Handy but specific. Okay, we don't want specific. I don't want to do this every time, right? This is the thing. Handy if you need to repeatedly do something within the editor, and there's real use cases for that. I'm not saying texture packer's bad. I still like texture packer. Anytime I can do a thing in editor, I want to do it that way. I don't want to boot up Photoshop and then goof around and wait for their stupid, look at our new AI, splash thing to be in my way. Like, I got stuff to do. And then I'm going to be like, hey, I want to open a file. And it'll be like, do you want to open it from cloud? You want to open it from your Adobe Cloud? No. It's on my computer. And then I'll change everything, and then I'll save, and it'll be like, oh, you going to save to cloud? And I'll have to click again and say, no, just on my computer. Right? I do it right in Unity, and I never have to talk to Photoshop. And Photoshop got weird, guys. Okay. So what we need is a new scriptable object. This is the abstract texture packer config. It's a lot like the texture packer. Here you have input property names. So instead of discrete texture assignments, I'm going to tell it the property name. So we say, hey, get the texture out of texture A. Okay. And you're going to put it into, right, our output suffix becomes texture B. Now I can't rename this because I didn't want to make a new thing to give this a new name. Okay, so it's not a suffix in this case. You're going to have to live with that for a while. Sorry. I'll get to it one of these days. But for now, you put your output here. So you say, hey, we're going to take texture A, whatever material you give us, and we're going to output a thing for texture B. I want to include the red channel. We still use our index here. So if we had more than one index, we just have the one, so it's 0, right? Maybe I'll make these drop downs so it says like texture A is the source. That'd be handy, wouldn't it? All right. Maybe tomorrow, maybe never. You never know. All right. Enabled. Look, you're not paying for this, so don't complain. Or do, but I may not care. You're not paying for it. Okay. So red channel, we're gonna copy over the red channel. We're not gonna care about green or blue, and then we're gonna copy over the alpha from this guy. So we should end up with a red palette little icon with this alpha, right? That's what we want to have come out of here. And so what we're gonna do here, all the way back, full circle now. I've explained all the problem cases now to take you back to the simple thing, which is you make a material converter. They're all up here, DWD, material converter right next to texture packer and texture packer abstract and shader variant maker, all the other handy stuff. Okay, you got the idea. Wow, material collection is, gosh, I give you guys all the cool stuff. Oh, all right. So you choose your property type. Here is where you define all the properties you want to transfer between materials. Okay. And so in this case, we'll have a texture. If you do, then when you choose the type, it will give you drop downs for your source and your destination from the available shader property names. So you don't have to worry about typos. We hate typos. Never type. It's silly. Don't do it. And then optionally, you can assign a texture packer config here. Abstract texture packer config. You don't have to, right? If you're just moving and you just want to copy, you're set. Don't put anything in there. If you want this, right? In this case, we do because this is a test. Okay. So then we've got our float, we got our vector, we got an int. Ints, ranges, and floats all actually are the same thing. Unity doesn't actually, like, the properties things, not actually smart. If you put int in there, it's just like your float. Whatever, man. I don't know why they have a set int thing. They do, but treats it all like float. Okay. And then we've got our color. All right. Now, once we get this all set up, we can hit this top button, which says convert all in project. That will convert every single material in your project using this shader to this shader. Might be fine. Maybe you have a specific use case. Maybe you have an art project where you're just doing art stuff and it's not scary to push that button. Or you can convert everything that is currently in your selection. So to do this, use your little lock button, right? We click on converter test. We're going to lock. I got 2 inspectors open. Don't freak out. That's the thing you can do. Maybe you're really new. Okay. But I do want to show you test A. Okay. So we're set to converter test A. Our shader is converter test A. This is in our selection, right? We've got it. We're clicked on it. We've locked our inspector so that we can see these buttons that we care about. We're going to push convert all in selection. I made that sound effect. That's not part of what you're getting. All right. And it'll tell you, all pending textures assigned and assets saved. Successfully converted 1 of 1. Now look, we're on converter test B. Float B is now a 3. Remember, if it had just applied the defaults. As if it had never been on this shader, right? Like, we'll make a new one just to confirm, right? So we make a material. We'll call it C. I told you I'm a genius. Okay. And we'll go to DWD testing, converter test A. We have all of our defaults, right? If we switch over to converter test B. Defaults, right? Until you set something here, Unity's not serializing default values. Just takes whatever the shader has built into it. Okay? even though this, right, if we changed anything here, it would have the texture saved, but this is not the texture that we saved. We packed a new texture. It got generated. It has the alpha. It has the red. It doesn't have a green or a blue. You can tell because the picture's all red and black. Anyway, there you go. It's all copied over. So now I can grab all of the foliage stuff I want to convert from some random asset pack. Set up one scriptable object, maybe set up a packer or two. Highlight them all. Control-Shift-Click, whatever you got to do. Hit Convert All in Selection. And you can convert swaths of asset packs over to whatever other shader you want to use. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's free. Material Manager's free. Probably shouldn't be. But there you go. All right, I needed it, so you get it too. If you have any comments or questions or concerns, leave them in the comments or join us on the Discord. Do the subscribe so you see updates about Foliage Render and other packages like Material Manager and so on. And as always, enjoy.